Foreign Relations Committee will come to order. We thank our witnesses for being here and look forward to their testimony. We're obviously here today to talk about Russia and its role in the world. Together, our countries have conquered the Nazis, prevented the proliferation of nuclear weapons in the 1990s, and worked against terrorists in the years after 9/11. Yet for most of modern history, Americans and Russians have found themselves at cross purposes. Throughout the Cold War, we trained to obliterate each other. With the fall of the Berlin Wall, many politicians argued that the difficult days of confrontation were behind us. Leaders like Gorbachev and Yeltsin worked to place Russia on a path towards democracy and peaceful engagement with the rest of the world. Reagan asked for the walls to be torn down. George W. Bush had Putin come to his home in Texas, and Obama sought to reset the relationship in a way that prioritized communication and cooperation. Scholars will long argue over exactly when the U.S.-Russia relationship again became confrontational. But looking back, the Russia-Georgia War in August of 2008 seems to be the mark of the beginning of a new age. Since that summer, a so-called resurgent Russia has pushed back on the institutions and allies of the West. Russia has invaded Georgia and Ukraine, striking them in ways designed to prevent their integration into the European Union and the North Atlantic Treaty Alliance. Russia has acted contrary to the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, the new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, the Open Skies Treaty, and the Incidents at Sea Agreement. Russia has altered the human rights landscape within its own country, decreasing democracy and begging questions about the future of governance, not just in Moscow, but across the Federation. Moreover, Russia joined the civil war in Syria and began militarizing the Arctic. Now when we talk about U.S.-Russia relationship, the ways that we interact globally, the days following the end of the Cold War seem very far away, as the relationship has once again grown distrustful and confrontational. As we meet today to talk about the role that Russia has come to play in the last several years, we must address these topics through the lens of realism. It will be easy to simply catalog the events that have brought us to where we are today, but we are charged with a higher responsibility, which is not only to diagnose the problem, but to begin generating prescriptions for where we go next. Discussions about the violations of norms must be paired with conversations about ways of effectively setting boundaries and engaging with Russia in order to make our world more stable and ultimately to serve U.S. national interests. Our countries are too powerful and the interplay between us too important to resign ourselves to the increasing risk of confrontation and escalation. I look forward to hearing today how we can recognize the new realities of the U.S.-Russia relationship and implement a new strategy that puts us on a better trajectory. And with that, I'll turn to our distinguished ranking member, Senator Corker.